You know, it's real crazy. Just a few hours ago, all Panthers fans were really excited. We just heard the news that Joe Brady, the passing game coordinator of the LSU Tigers, just got signed to be our offensive coordinator. We thought, look, this is the guy that turned Joe Burrow into a first-round draft pick after he was obviously in 2018 really a guy who wasn't going to be drafted at all. And if he did, he'd be a late third day kind of dude. But just now, the news came down. Very, very, very shocking news out of nowhere. There's not a single reporter, not a single fan of any team who could have even thought to predict this. Luke Kuechly announced that after only 8 years in the NFL, he's retiring. Announced it via the Panthers Twitter page in a video. It's like 3 minutes long. You can watch it right here.
I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to play this game since I was in 4th grade, and I've been with the Panthers now for 8 years, and it's never the right time to step away, but now is the right time for me. And it's a tough decision. I've thought about it a lot, and I think now is the right chance for me to move on. And it makes me sad because I love playing this game. I've played it since I was a little kid, and it's my favorite thing in the world to do. And the memories I have from this place and this organization and playing on the field with these guys, they'll never go away. And I'm sitting right now in the linebacker room, and the amount of memories I've had from this room alone could fill a book. And these are the best times of playing. Obviously on the field is awesome, but some of the best times of playing this game are behind the scenes in the locker rooms, in these meeting rooms, on the buses, traveling the games. You can't replicate that anywhere else, and that's why this is so hard to do, to move on in a different direction. But in my heart, I know it's the right thing to do, and it's hard, but that's why you play this game, to form relationships, and if you form strong relationships, they never go away. It's hard, but I hope to, still be involved in some way. And the biggest thing at this point now is to thank the people that have helped me get me there, from the coaches and the players to Coach Rivera, to Marty, to Mr. Richardson for bringing me in, and now Mr. Tepper now. This decision has nothing to do with new coaches and Coach Rule. He's going to do a fantastic job. His track record's proven, but for me now is the right opportunity to move in a different direction. And there's only one way to play this game since I was a little kid, is to play fast and play physical and play strong. And at this point, I don't know if I'm able to do that anymore, and that's the part that is the most difficult. Is I still want to play, but I don't think it's the right decision. So I've thought about it for a long time, and I think now is an opportunity for me to step away with what's going on here. I think we've got a really good linebacker room. I think Shaq and those guys are going to step and do a tremendous job. I just want to say thank you to the coaches, the players, the support staff, the training staff. Everybody involved with this organization has been the best from top to bottom since the day I got here. The fans have been fantastic. They've supported us. They've traveled. When we've been good, they've been great. When we haven't been great, they've been equally as good and very supportive. And that's the best thing about this city and this town is people love the team and people love the players. And that goes a long way, because when you love the players for who they are, I think it transcends the game, and that's what's important. And most of all, I'd like to thank my family, Mom and my dad, Eileen and Tom Kuechly, my 2 brothers, John and Henry, and my girlfriend, Shannon. They've been with me since the beginning. They've been very supportive, and I'm happy to share this journey with them. So thank you, Panther fans. Thank you, everybody in the NFL, for your constant support. And now it's time to move in a different direction.
You can just see on his face, the way he's talking, his body language, this is a very hard decision for him. He's only been playing in the National Football League for 8 years. And it gets kind of hard because we've been seeing Luke play at the highest level. The dude is obviously, and I think just about unanimously acknowledged to be the smartest defensive player in the whole NFL. He's one of the best players, one of the best linebackers to ever do it. When you think about other guys who come before him, Mike Singletary, Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis. The list goes on and on and on. Luke Kuechly is in that conversation because not only could he tackle, not only could he drop back in coverage, not only did he know his own playbook, but he knew your playbook so well that he knew every single play you were going to run before you ran it. And if your quarterback checked out of that play, he knew all of your checks before you snapped the ball. You see this man pointing to the right side of the field, and what do you know? It's a run to the right side. You see him moving guys around, and then that guy makes a play, and quarterbacks know he knows what's going on. You have to try to play a mind game between you and Luke Kuechly every time you step on the field against the Panthers. And Luke has been, for the longest time, one of the most consistent bright spots on this Panthers team. Let's be honest. The man got drafted in 2012, 9th overall, so you know what the record was looking like in 2011 if he got drafted 9th overall. Come out of Boston College. Every single year, this man has been borderline just great. 7 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pros, and I think it's been 7 All-Pro teams, but only 5 as a first team. The guy has stats that just blow your mind. I'll put it on the screen here. I don't have time to go over every single stat, every single record that Luke Kuechly has. If there's a record you can think about for a defensive player, especially a linebacker, Luke either has that record or was very close to getting to that record. And if Luke would have played the number of years that we all think he could have played at this level, he probably would have just about every single record a linebacker could get and more. There was never a doubt in your mind that if he was on the field, he was going to make a play. And most times, 9 times out of 10, and really about 10 times out of 10, Luke Kuechly made a play. And he was so smart and so good so often that even when there were plays where it looked like he made a mistake, I thought to myself, well, maybe the guy on offense went the wrong way on that play. Maybe the guy on offense made a mistake because there's no way Luke would be in the wrong spot on a defensive play. That's how good he was and how consistent he was. Every single time he made a tackle, you'd hear the Luke chants in the stands. Home games, away games, you would always hear Luke chants. Every single play. And this is just really sad, hard-hitting news for all Panthers fans. But if you've been paying attention to Luke, you could probably maybe have seen this coming. Maybe not so soon, but it was on its way. We've seen this man get concussion after concussion after concussion. There was a very serious one in 2016, but we all forget about in 2015 in the season opener against the Jaguars. He got a concussion in that game, was out the rest of the game, and missed his very first game of his career the next week. Then 2016 was that heavy one in week 11. Missed the rest of the season. That was crazy. That was the one that you saw him with the face, helmet off on the field. That one was when I thought, whoa, we might be looking at the end of Luke right here, right now. And then week 5, the following season, there was a concussion scare. Now they say he didn't really get a concussion. It was he passed concussion protocol and whatnot, but that was still a really heavy hit. It looked like it might have been his 3rd concussion in 3 years. And I've always said that after that moment, Luke was always 1 concussion away from having long-term effects and ruining the rest of his life, potentially. He's 28 years old. That's young. That's young. He's 28 years old. When you're playing a tough physical position like linebacker in the NFL and you're one of the best and you get some of the most tackles in the NFL each and every year like Luke does, you really do risk your health every single time you step on the field, especially for a guy who had 3 concussions in 3 straight years. I'm going to keep saying it because it really is important. And he mentioned in the video, he can't play as fast and as hard as he used to, but the question does still arise, what changed? Because he did it last year, and he did it the year before, so why does he feel like this is the year where he can no longer do it? Because he did not suffer concussion in 2019. I'm sure in the comments you're going to see a lot of different opinions on what might be, what is, what isn't, different things going on down there, but I'm going to let you guys know this right now. It's a very simple answer. In 2018 and just this past year, 2019, it was worth the risk. We looked good. Cam was coming off that shoulder surgery in 2018, and we thought we'd look really good. And early on in the season, we did look really good. Then Cam got hurt, and the season was derailed, and we saw Luke out there still doing his thing. He was still out there making plays and being impactful. But for a losing team that wasn't going to do anything, it was only adding more risk for really no reason. And then this past season, Cam gets that cleanup surgery, has a whole new throwing motion. We have what we think is going to be a good O-line. Defense looks really good. We're in a 3-4. Things are looking like pretty optimistic for this Panthers team. Cam gets hurt week 2. We got Kyle Allen. We look all right at first, and then the whole team gets derailed. We end up 5 2011. Then the head coach gets fired. The defensive coordinator gets fired. We have a whole new coaching staff. And he did mention that it wasn't about the coaching staff. It wasn't about, even Jerry Richardson being ousted as the owner of the team. It wasn't about David Tepper, Rev Rule, everyone coming in. He said he respects them. They're going to do a good job. He said Shaq is going to do a good job. He mentioned the whole linebacker room. Look, I like Jermaine Carter. I like the other dudes out there, Andre Smith and whatnot, but they ain't Luke. They are not Luke. So we're looking like we're going to be in huge rebuild mode, but that's not even it. Why would it not be worth it for Luke Kuechly to come back if, we're thinking, okay, we're going to have some pieces on the offense come back, pieces on the defense, the draft is coming up, the team can get some players in free agency. Why would Luke Kuechly decide that this year would not be worth it and that this is, quote, the right time, the right opportunity for him to make this move, make this decision? I think Luke knows something. I think Luke has to know something. Either Cam's not healthy or the team is going to move away from Cam. And a player as important as Luke Kuechly has to know something. And this I don't know. With Luke being gone, even with Cam, I don't see next year being a winning season. I see Greg Olsen being gone as well. I'll do a video on that, but that's not what I'm going to focus on here. Luke Kuechly has retired after only 8 seasons in the NFL. That is ridiculous to me. But there is, I guess, some sort of a silver lining if you want to look at it like that. I mean, the team might save a little bit of money. Now, this part of the video, if you don't like numbers and numbers confuse you and scare you, this might not be your part of the video because I'm going to go over some very confusing numbers. And I'll put this picture on the screen right here so you can see what it looks like kind of. So this is what the money situation looks like for the team in regards to Luke Kuechly. On his current deal, in 2015, he signed a 5-year, $61 million extension with about a $19 million bonus. In 2018, $6.8 million of his salary was converted to bonus, and that was a $5.1 million saving in cap space for the team. So from 2019 to 2021, there will be a $1.7 million extra cap hit for the team because of that conversion. And then again in 2019, this past year, $9 million of Luke's salary was converted to a bonus, and that gave the team $7.24 million. So from 2020 to 2024, there was going to be an additional $1.8 million on the cap for the team because that's because you get the savings from changing a player's salary to a bonus. That money still has to hit the cap at some point. All you're doing is moving it up, saving that money this year, and then prorating it for back-end years. So the team added 2 void years to the contract in 2023 and 2022. So with these numbers, you can see all the numbers on your screen here. Basically, the team only owes Luke $1.2 million in bonuses. There's the 1.7 in 19 and 20. Then there's the 1.7 plus 1.8. That's 3.5 for 2020 and 2021. And you can see here in 2022 and 23, it's only plus 1.8. So what does this mean? The team cap hit for the next 4 years is $10.6 million. So prorated all that is going to be $2.65 million. But the base salary that Luke would have been earning in 2020 and 2021 was $10.3 and $10.7 million respectively. That equals out to $21 million. So the team gets an additional $7.5 million this upcoming year and $8 million in 2021. So if you want to think about that as a silver lining, the team gets about $8 million in cap space these next 2 years. But let's be honest here. You can't put a price on what Luke Kuechly does and what Luke Kuechly did for this team. It's not just his on-field production. It's what he does in the offseason. It's what he does with the younger players, mentoring them. It's how smart he is. It's his impact not only on the defense, but his impact on the mind of every single player on the offense he's going up against, the quarterback, the running back, the tight ends. Everyone knows that Luke knows what you're doing and that Luke can do something about what you're doing. It's one thing to know what's going to happen. It's a whole other thing to be able to do something about it. And Luke could do both of those the best in the league at his position. And there was even one year, I think it was 2017, Luke was graded the best coverage player on defense across the whole NFL. That includes corners and safeties. His impact on the team, on the culture, on just everything Carolina Panthers cannot be replaced. His number is going to be retired, and he is a Hall of Famer. Easily, no doubt about it. But look, man, it is what it is. This is going to be a rebuild season for us. We're going to miss him. We all love Luke, but it is what it is. Luke, 1 L, 58 U's, 12 K's, 1 E. It is what it is, man. But that's all I got for you for right now. But I want to hear from y'all. What do you think about this retirement? How crazy, how just how unpredictable, how wild is this? Let me know your favorite Luke memory. How will this team rebound? How long do you think it's going to take this, not only this defense, but this team as a whole to rebound and rebuild? And do you think this might have any kind of anything to do with maybe Cam being gone or Cam not being, I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy here because we'll see when things happen, but this has to mean something. Luke has to know something. There has to be a bigger reason than just, hey, the game's just a little bit too physical for me. And I know the concussions and everything, but I just feel like if Cam was 100% healthy right now, Luke would play just one more year. Just one more year. It's crazy. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know to do that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.